Good day, Jeff Hartling, Economic Development Officer with the Town of Rocky Mountain House, along with Jerry Pratt, Economic Development Officer for Clearwater County. We're sitting with Michelle Andrishak to give tips and pointers with what you could do when your customers cannot come to you.
Welcome, Michelle. Good to see you.
Great to see you as well, Jeff and Jerry. It's lovely to be with you today.
Hello, Michelle.
We're going to be talking a bit about customer relations in time of COVID-19 when you can't be physically close. Michelle, before we do that, could you give an introduction about yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Michelle Andrishak. I am located in lovely Rocky Mountain House, but I am the CEO and founder of WOW International Women in Business and Leadership, Inc. I'm a certified management consultant, which certifies me to be a business consultant in 45 countries around the world, and I'm an award-winning business coach as well. And one of my favorite things to do is share new strategies that increase both productivity and profit in your business, because that's the two commodities, right, guys? Time and money.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Can't stay in business very long without them.
That's right.
Okay, so we have a few questions to go through, and you've been preparing some stuff for us. So, Jeff, how about you lead off with the first question?
Absolutely. So with this segment, we're looking to Michelle for some key pointers to share to the community with what when your customers cannot come to you. What do you recommend now that customers cannot browse in person in your place of business if it's been deemed as a non-essential place?
Great question, Jeff. Now that we're in COVID-19, or even before we stepped into this time of pandemic, consumer behavior changed radically in that they're not browsing anymore. They might be browsing online, but they're certainly not browsing to storefront businesses. And so now is the time, if people can't come to your business, to bring your business to them. And you can do that virtually, giving them a fantastic virtual experience. And Jerry, I know you know this as well as Jeff, that right now during the COVID-19 period, social media, any type of digital media, YouTube videos are being consumed at 40% higher than they were before, because everybody's online. So it is a 40% increase in traffic that's online right now. So how can you virtualize your store? You can put a store on Facebook. There is an opportunity to, on your business page on Facebook, create a store to sell your items from there and allow people to browse, because that's where they're browsing. Also, video is king. Video impacts people emotionally online, and in the next 5 years, 80% of all online content will be video. So grab your phone, do a virtual tour of your store. Tell me the favorite things that you have in the store, and share that across multiple social media platforms so you can have the opportunity to bring the store to the people that are currently browsing online, because they can't come to your store right now and browse in person.
Yeah, and it might be a little while yet, too.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's an opportunity to showcase, even from the tiniest, your favorite pair of earrings that you're selling in your store, or how you're making your current soap products, or even how you're grooming your horse, getting ready for, the next opening of the trails when you can. You can bring that virtual experience to your consumer right to their fingertips and right to their phones.
So if all the stores and all the businesses are trying to get online, which they should be, how do you stand out? How do you make yourself different?
Oh, you know what? The market is saturated with pretty much every industry right now, and none of us are recreating the wheel. So how do you stand out and be unique? You be uniquely you, and you identify what is your personal brand versus the business brand, for example. So who are you? Adding personality to your videos, sharing your story, uploading your favorite things, showcasing your stuff, because what makes you unique in the marketplace, especially if you're a small business owner in rural Alberta and you're a solopreneur, what makes you different is you. There is no other Jerry Pratt in the whole wide world.
Thank goodness.
Right? There's no other Jeff Hartling in the whole wide world, and there's no other Michelle Andrishak. We might be repeating something that's done before us, but we bring our personalities to it, and that's unique. So adding your flair and your personality and more of your personal pictures into the online realm will allow people to connect with you emotionally. Because face it, we are human beings, and when people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. So the big question you have to ask yourself every single day when you wake up in the morning is, how can I allow my most valuable client and my target audience to know me, and know me on a personal level? Because remember, people who do business with people, not necessarily brands.
And that's all, what you just reviewed, is showcasing, as you mentioned. And with that, we've seen a few examples of that down. And what would you say to others that haven't jumped on board yet, or what would you say to help them get over that curve of maybe it's technical challenges, or not feeling comfortable with putting themselves out there like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, believe me, Jeff, if I can learn how to do it, anybody can. And if I'm willing to put this face out there, so can you too. So when you're thinking about how you're developing, and really it does look like a mountain that you have to climb from a technical perspective, but there are so many ways to learn new and efficient ways to convert from an in-person experience to a digital or a virtual experience. And it doesn't have to be that difficult. So there's lots of training courses online. YouTube is filled with them. And there's also local offerings as well. But I think what we really need to get clear on is that we're not asking the business owner to put themselves out there. And I know a lot of clients that I coach with say, you know what, I have trouble putting myself out there. I just really don't know what to say. Identifying what is your personal brand is going to be the very first step. So your personal brand is developed by, of course, your personality, your values. What gives you the credibility to do what you do? Is it designations? Is it life experience? Is it everything in between? And then lastly, sit down with a coach or a consultant or even a friend or a business peer and ask yourself the question that every consumer is asking you every time they think about purchasing from you. They're asking you the big question, which I call the WIFM question: what's in it for me? So then, as a business owner, talking about what's in it for your client to engage with you and being really clear on the answer to that question. It could be, we'll give your family a virtual experience that you'll be talking around the campfire for years to come. Or it could be, we'll be able to make sure that every special moment is reflected in the flowers that you choose for the special moments. So you're going to think about, people buy emotionally and then justify their purchases with logic later. You know, have you ever known a woman to buy a pair of shoes based on logic? Probably not.
That goes for us guys too. We do drive and purchase on emotion. I found myself in that boat too. Yeah, Jerry, did you have the next question?
I do. So once people have their brand and they're starting to figure out, social media and all the things that can support, what are some of the best ways to communicate and strengthen their relationships with their customers?
Well, the first thing we want to do is teach, not preach. So consumers have been bombarded by infomercials and sales pitches, so much so that they are now running, if they smell a sales pitch, they're running in the other direction. So we've cut off our cable and gone to Netflix. Why? There's no commercials. As soon as something looks like an advertisement or a sponsored ad on Facebook, we zoom right on by. So anything that looks salesy, really, people run away from it. So what we really want to consider is teaching, not preaching. Is what part of your expertise can you showcase to your most valuable client to build credibility? Because that credibility will come before cash flow comes. You need to build credibility before the cash flow comes. So look at your elements. If you're a florist, tell me about your favorite flower and why it's your favorite flower and how to keep that flower, when it's cut, alive in my vase for 2 or 3 weeks. If you are running a trail riding business, tell me how to make sure I can step safely in one of the stirrups to get on a horse when we can get on a horse. So it's all about what elements of your business can you teach to build credibility, to build your expertise online, and rather than preaching. Because as soon as you start preaching, your consumers are going to flee from east to west.
Okay, thank you.
Which just carries over to my next question. Is all about your nurturing strategy.
Mm-hmm.
And, can you share a few examples of what that means to in the relationship building?
Absolutely. So, like I said, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And if they know that you as a business owner are really going to look after them, they really want to feel special. And so if you let them walk out the door after they've made one purchase, don't let the relationship end. So maybe what you do is you grab their email address and send them a thank you email. Thanks for coming into the store. And you can automate this, you can template this, you can build this relationship in an automated way, but it's also authentic. Where, maybe someone pops into your local bakery and you get their email address and you say, hey, they get an email 2 days later and say, thanks for stopping in at our bakery. We'd like to hear more about what your favorite baking things are. Let's engage in a dialogue. So the nurturing strategy really is making sure the conversation that was started at the transaction continues. So it's all about how do you enjoy our bread? How'd you like the shoes? How did the dress fit? So, and I find that business owners do this by nature, but they don't call it a nurturing strategy. And as soon as you say, oh, you really need to implement a follow-up strategy, we kind of get scared because then we think, oh, we have to be salesy and upsell people. But really what you want to do is continue the conversation that started at the transaction. And if there's an opportunity, say, you're providing home decor for a new home, for example, you could certainly then get your virtual assistant or get an assistant or stay up late in your pajamas if you have to write that person a card and say, congratulations on your new home. So the more nurture you can give to your customers, the more relationship you'll build, the more they feel special, and then they keep coming back to your store and they tell their friends about how well they treated you. So you're going to triple your income through a nurturing strategy, not only with repeat clients, but referrals as well.
Okay. Absolutely. On so many levels.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo, right on. And so many of the business owners out there, they do understand that, but it's keeping that nurturing strategy in play.
Absolutely. There's two things as a business owner that I wake up every morning and ask myself is, how do I let people, my most valuable client, get to know me today? And how can I nurture my current client base? So it could be you sit down and write a whole bunch of thank you cards, because what else do we get in the mail these days, especially snail mail? Bills and flyers. So when you get a handwritten card from somebody saying, I really appreciated that you visited my business, and the business owner, you don't have to write those cards yourself. It's always very nice, but I know you're busy. I know you're working long hours. You can certainly hire a virtual assistant to make that happen for you for very little dollars.
And I'm always amazed at how many business owners, a customer walks in, they might not have even seen them in several months, and they instantly say, like, there's a paint shop in town that did this. We'd walk in, it's like, oh, how'd that work in your basement? That project was a year ago, and they remember it. And so the nurturing and using social media is just spreading that relationship beyond just person to person in the business that they're already doing a good job in.
Absolutely. And then you can get that engagement online too by sending private messages to people. Not salesy ones, but authentic, caring, nurturing messages. Like, hey, you know what? How'd that color work out? So one of the things, when I develop a nurturing strategy for my clients, I talk about the 2-2-2 system. So 2 days after the first transaction or interaction, you want to send out a nurturing message and say, thank you so much. Really enjoyed getting to know you, and I look forward to seeing you again. And then 2 weeks later, they might end up on your monthly newsletter where you can teach them something of value. So you're really providing high impact, high value to your current client base, because believe me, they'll bring back more than your time for return on investment for referrals as well. The last two is 2 months. So if it's a one-time transaction, maybe it's a real estate transaction or a renovations transaction, it's that 2 months of, hey, I'm just checking into making sure everything's great. So it's that 2-2-2 strategy, 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 days, 2 weeks, and 2 months.
I love it.
Well, thank you, Michelle. We sure appreciate you coming in to share some of your knowledge about this. Just to wrap up, a quick summary. Would you like to do a quick summary, or should I try to give it? I think you know better.
What? How about we can collaborate on that?
Okay.
Because I really believe collaborations and the community wisdom are much better than just one person.
Well, I'll say your first point was we can't go face to face very easily right now. We might not for a while. So figure out how to do it virtually.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's all about what can you digitize and what can you provide as a virtual experience. People really want to engage in experiences with you rather than one-time transactions.
Number 2 was making your business stand out. You said people do business with people they trust.
Absolutely. So it's all about, sitting down, working with somebody, and developing what is I call it a personal brand statement. So my personal brand statement is, hi, I'm Michelle. I'm a certified management consultant and award-winning business coach. I help entrepreneurs increase their joy, productivity, and profitability. So when you're thinking about that, that's the answer to the where from question, my credentials, and what I love to do. So when you're thinking about each and every business owner should have their own personal brand statement.
Okay. Number 3 was showcasing the face behind the logo, not just the store.
Absolutely. Let us in. Let us understand who you are as a person, and better yet, bring your staff in. Even if they're virtually, you could, use a Zoom call, use Google Meetups, use these type of online gathering software to showcase your amazing staff, because they are the face of your business and they build connections with your customers too. So tell me what your staff love to do and why they love to work there, what their favorite thing is about your store, and what their favorite brands are.
Okay. Number 4 was, once you've got your customers and you're doing things with them, reach out to them.
Absolutely. Nurture the relationships. Business relationships are no different than personal relationships. If you want someone to go from being an acquaintance to your BFF, you need to nurture that relationship. So if you want your customer to come back and then become your raving fan and give you multiple referrals and reviews, it's time to start nurturing.
Okay. And then the fifth, I think, honestly copies the fourth quite a bit. It's make it easier for your good customers to bring their friends along too.
Absolutely. People, 88% of consumers right now will go online to read a review about your a business before they ever step into it. So asking your customers to leave Google reviews or Facebook reviews, or better yet, if you engage with them to do a video testimonial, that's golden nuggets in your business.
Okay. Well, thank you, Michelle. We sure appreciate this. Jeff, you wanted to say?
We absolutely appreciate this, and we're words of wisdom, Michelle, and tips and advice through this interview. It's a lot of you having to take some time to work on your business, and we definitely appreciate so many are working in their business on the survival and through the pandemic that challenges that we're going through. But taking some time to work on your business with these words of wisdom that you shared today, Michelle, we much appreciate it.
Oh, you know what? This is my favorite thing to do, to talk about business and really share some clarity on how we can get clear on who we are and what our business does. Build confidence in learning new skills, like this meeting right now on video, and knowing that you, as a business owner, you should never walk alone. There's always a community of support available to you, and in the end, if you combine clarity, confidence, and community, you're going to get cash flow. That's a guarantee.
Okay. Well, thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
And thanks, guys.
We look forward to seeing you around town.
Absolutely. Stay safe and be well.
Okay.
As well.
Well, Michelle shared a lot of really good information with us, and we hope you can take advantage of it. Please, if you're looking for information, you can go to the town website. They have COVID-19 information. We do as well. And we have links to our YouTube videos that we're doing. This is a series, the second in a series. Last week we were able to talk with Rocky Credit Union about business banking. And next week we are going to be talking with an accountant about what businesses need to know concerning accounting and taxes during the time of COVID-19. The world is constantly changing, so we're hoping we can provide relevant information that will help you in your business. So everyone, we look forward to seeing you soon, and have a good, safe day.